Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our University Honors Orientation. My name is Dr. Malakote, and I am the director of our program here, and I'm thrilled that you have joined us today for our Honors Orientation here online. I know that some of you might have come in person a few weeks ago, and maybe for some of you, this is your kind of first time joining us on Zoom. So I just want to say welcome to everybody. If you get a moment, please go ahead and introduce yourself in the chat. Let us know if you are a first-time freshman or if you're a transfer student, and also what is your major. Today, we're going to be just kind of going through a little bit of information about the honors program, how to stay connected to us, how to seek out advising, and also the core requirements of the program and how that intersects with your major. And then we'll have some time after our kind of presentation here to ask questions, deal with some commonly issues that you might be having, and hopefully address any concerns that you might be having. So I know that folks are continuing to pop in here as we're getting started, but I want to go ahead and start things off here. Just with kind of a review of what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to give you some insight as to who our team members are here. What are some of the benefits to being in honors? What are some of the graduation requirements that you need to know about in terms of honors? What is the Senior Honors Project, which is a key component of our program? A little bit of information about some other resources on campus, like some of our undergraduate research centers, how you stay connected, and then finally some issues or questions about your Titan degree audit, otherwise known as your TDA, and also registration. So just as way of introduction, my name is Dr. Malakote. As I mentioned, I am the director here of the University Honors Program. I've actually been here on campus for this fall will be my 21st year at Cal State Fullerton, which is a little mind-blowing to me. I'm actually a criminologist by trade. My PhD is in sociology, and I was a member of the Criminal Justice Department for about 18 years on campus, and since then have been involved in the University Honors Program, which I absolutely love, and allows me to work with students like yourself from all different backgrounds. But I know we have at least one CJ major here as well, so yay, awesome. But I'm thrilled that all of you have joined us. We have an amazing staff here in our center. We are located in the library on the first floor. We're in Pollock Library South 160. So if you've been to campus yet, you know where those double doors are that kind of slide open and enter you into the library from the quad. We are just that first set of glass doors right on the right-hand side. And during the academic year, our center is open Monday through Friday. During the summer, we are open Monday through Thursdays, and then we are here actually functioning remotely on Fridays. But when you come into the center, you'll have the opportunity to meet up with one of our student leaders, either Brian, Isabel, or Jacob. They are all University Honors students and are great resources for you in terms of answering any questions that you might have about the program, about any registration issues that you might be having. We also have our support coordinator, Abril Rodriguez. She is our staff member who deals with permits and all sorts of class registration issues. She's also a graduate of our program. She was an English major and is actually starting a master's degree here in higher education leadership in the fall. If you have advising questions, which I know a lot of you do, the best place to reach out for that is through our email at honors.advising@fullerton.edu. That's actually staffed by me, and I try and answer any questions that you might have pretty quickly. When you are emailing, it's great if you can also include your campus-wide ID. That allows me to look up your TDA and kind of help mediate any questions that you might be having and get some background information about you as I try and answer your questions. So, what are some of the benefits about being in honors? First and foremost, we provide support for your academic success. The University Honors Program is an interdisciplinary approach to your general education courses. And so you are completing several of your GE classes within the honors program, which allows you to have smaller class sizes. Most of our classes are capped anywhere between 15 and 20 students. So you really get that small environment where you get to know your classmates, you get to know your faculty. It's much more conversation and project-based rather than a formal lecture. And it really allows you to kind of dive into some of the course content, really pulling from a variety of different disciplines, not just from one space. Obviously, all of our students love the fact that they get priority registration. That means that every semester that you are in good standing with the honors program, you have the opportunity to register before anybody else. And that's really, I think that's one of the things that students outwardly, of course, love the most, but I wouldn't necessarily say it is the, biggest benefit to the program. I would say the benefit is the things that we do in our classes and in our center. Allows you to make those community connections. We have service learning activities and study abroad. I actually just returned with 12 students. We were in the Netherlands for the month of June, and we approached a course on history, genocide, and human rights. And so we spent 3 weeks in Amsterdam and had that opportunity to really kind of explore those issues, boots on the ground where things are happening, like the International Criminal Court and International Court of Justice, the history of World War II and the Holocaust, and really just had an amazing experience. Next summer, so summer 2024, we will be traveling for 4 weeks to Sydney, Australia. And that'll be, you get an opportunity to meet 2 of your honors course requirements with that program, and more information will be coming out about that program here in the fall, and applications will be available for that. I already mentioned the interdisciplinary learning, so there's that option to really kind of think about deep social issues from a variety of different perspectives. And then we also have academic and social activities. We have a really robust student group that does some social activities and engagement. And we also do some events here in the center. We have pizza with the directors and donuts and different lectures and activities here in the center. And of course, the center is also a great place for you to hang out, to work on studying, to meet with study groups, maybe warm up some food in the microwave, do some printing if you have printing that you need to do for class. All of that is here available for you in our center. So registration, hopefully by now you know that you have access to be able to register for your classes on your student portal. You can do that. Now, in addition, registration is separate from orientation. So here today you are doing your honors orientation. You still must attend a campus university orientation, either in person, which you've already registered for, and maybe have even already attended, or the online orientation. So make sure that you cover both of those aspects. But if you haven't already registered for classes, you can do so now. So that's an important thing to note. So what are some of the different graduation requirements? I'm going to go through this both for those of you that are first-time freshmen and also transfer students, because there are some similarities and there's also some differences. So I'm going to start off first by sharing that we do have some resources available for you. For those of you who are first-time freshmen, we have just about every major where we have a roadmap available for you that really kind of plans out all of the courses that you need to take over a 4-year period. Now, I know that some of you will have AP units coming in or dual enrollment, and so that might shift up some of the classes that you'll take. So you always want to consult your TDA, but this gives you kind of a rough outline about what you should take in any given semester. And things can, in some cases, particularly with the GE classes, be interchanged. So for example, this is a roadmap for public health, and it says in the fall semester that you should take your C1 Intro to the Arts. Well, maybe there's not a class available, or, you really wanted to, maybe take your math class this semester and arts next semester, you can flip-flop those, right? It's not so set in stone that you must do exactly what is in year one. The best things to follow are to make sure that over the course of year one, that you have completed your A1, your A2, your A3, and your B4 GE requirements. What that is that's your oral communication, your English, your critical thinking, and your math requirement, right? So you want to make sure that you knock all 4 of those out in that first year. As far as the major courses, some of them are prereqs for others. So that is helpful to kind of follow this order, or to also consult with a major advisor as well. But this will show you where you can be taking honors classes for the various different GEs, depending again on what areas that you have available or that you need to fill in your Titan degree audit. And again, those classes can kind of be interchanged based on schedule, class availability, and the like. But that is available. We have them as the 4-year roadmaps. We are working on adding 2-year roadmaps. So right now, I think we have political science, public administration, criminal justice, psychology, business, and a couple of other 2-year roadmaps currently on our Canvas site. So you can take a look at those for some additional support as well. Or if we don't have a roadmap yet, you can always schedule an appointment with me for advising, and we can kind of go through a 2-year plan for you, for those of you that are transfer students. Alrighty, so those of you that are on the 4-year pathway, that means that you are coming in as a first-time freshman, that you have earned, generally speaking, less than 35 units between AP and dual enrollment. Now, if you have more AP, or if you have a lot of AP in certain categories, or if you have done a dual enrollment program where you're coming in with 40 some odd units, definitely reach out and talk with us, because in some cases, it might be that you're a better fit to be on our upper division pathway, which has different requirements. So you definitely want to reach out for us on that. But for those of you that have 35 units or less in terms of AP or dual enrollment credit, you're going to be on our 4-year pathway requirements. And the requirements fall into 3 different categories. The first one is your honors or GE courses. These are 3-unit courses each. So you need to complete 15 units. That's 5 courses. And at least one of those classes needs to be an upper division class. So something in the 300 level, right? Generally speaking, for the first year, we recommend that you complete honors 101A, 101B, but that can vary a little bit based on major, but I'll share a little bit more about that here later. But generally know that you're taking 5 courses that are all 3 units each, and that's going to make 15 units of your GE. Now, we actually offer GE courses or honors courses in 9 different GE categories. So you can always take more honors courses to fulfill those GE categories if you wish, right? But you have to do at least 5 courses. You're also going to do 4 units in what we call honors colloquium. These are 1-unit courses that you would complete kind of roughly 1 each year of the program. So generally speaking, most students start off freshman year with honors 100 in the fall, although you could also take it in the spring. Honors 100 is our introduction to university honors. There's a service learning component with that, and you're also paired up with a student from the 200 level class where you have a peer mentor that kind of helps you integrate to campus and get connected and get to meet some other people in the honors program. That's a 1-unit class, and we have 3 different sections of it. One is reserved exclusively for transfer students, but then we have 2 other sections. They're 1 day a week for 75 minutes. Honors 200 is our introduction to research and creative activities, and this is going to get you starting to think about that senior honors project. Again, it's 1 unit, meets 1 time a week for 75 minutes. and you're starting to explore what does it mean to engage in research or scholarship or creative activities. What would that look like for you? How do you start to explore things that you're passionate about and that you're interested in for that senior honors project? The senior honors project can really be anything that you want it to be. And we have a whole host of examples of students that have graduated and then have completed their projects available on our Canvas site. And so you can kind of take a look at what students have explored in the past. Sometimes those are things that are related to their major. Other times they're just related to personal interests or passions that you might have. It is entirely up to you what you choose to work on, and you have that opportunity to work one-on-one with a faculty mentor. So 200 is starting to get you think about that. 300 is where you write your proposal and you really solidify what it is that you want to do. You find that faculty mentor that you want to work with one-on-one. And then that happens in your third year usually. And then in your semester that you are completing your senior honors project, you're going to present it at our senior honors conference, which is at the end of the semester, either in December or May each year. And in that semester, you will enroll in Honors 400, and that gets you ready to finish off your project and to present it at conference. Now, that senior honors project that you're working one-on-one with a faculty member about on the topic of your interest, you're actually going to earn 5 units of credit for that. You're going to do 3 units in one semester and 2 units in the second semester. So that 2 units plus the 1 unit for Honors 400 gives you the 3 units for that second semester. But it's a year-long project that you're working on. As I said, it can be a research or scholarly project. It can be a creative activity. And we have students that have done all sorts of things over the years that have either related to their major or to their personal passions. So what does that look like now for this year as a first year in the 4-year pathway, right? So as I mentioned, you're going to start off as Honors 101A. That meets your A3 critical thinking requirement. It is not the same as English 101, which is your GEA2. Now, some of you might have AP credit for that class coming in. That's your English class, not critical thinking. There's a few exceptions. Theater students, you're also going to take Theater 110, which will fulfill your honors, will fulfill your GEA1 requirement. And if you're an engineering or computer science student, you don't take Honors 101A because that requirement has been waived for your major. Instead, you're going to take Honors 101B. Now, if you have AP American Government, you should also take Honors 301B this fall, right? That's going to allow you to complete the American Government University requirement. When you do AP American Government, it fulfills the national component of that requirement for the university, but it does not meet the state and local requirement. So you're going to take Honors 301B in order to complete that requirement. Now, if you haven't done AP American Government, you would just do Honors 201B, usually in your spring semester or your second year, right, to complete that requirement there. And then in the spring, you're going to do Honors 101B, unless you have community college credits or a theater major. If you've already completed both of those, consider taking a 200 level course. And then either in fall or spring, although most students do tend to do it, more students tend to do it in the fall, you're going to do that Honors 100, which is 1 unit. So this is just kind of another way of looking at those requirements over 4 years. So I just went over the year 1 requirements, where you're doing an honors class, usually each semester for most majors, plus Honors 100. In year 2, again, you're going to do 1 course, usually each semester, right? And then Honors 200. Year 3, you're going to complete that upper division honors seminar and Honors 300. Year 4, or the year that you're doing your SHP, some students will do their SHP before they graduate. Some students do it the year that they are graduating. It just kind of varies based on your interests and your needs. But that's when you'll be doing your senior honors project and Honors 400. If we have any students here that are community college transfer students, right, you're going to follow those 4-year pathway requirements because you're transferring in up to 12 units of lower division community college honors courses. And if you didn't already upload your honors syllabi with your application, make sure that you email those to honors.advising with your CWID, and that way we can make sure that those courses are moved in to fulfill the requirements on your TDA. So that's the 4-year program. The students that are transfer students or have earned more than 35 units, you're going to be on what's called the upper division pathway requirements. So your seminar courses, you're going to take 9 units, that's 3 courses, and those are all going to be at the 300 level. And so every student has to complete upper division GE. And so you can take courses that meet the B5, which is the explorations in natural sciences, the C3, which is explorations in the arts and humanities, or the D3, which is explorations in the social sciences. You can also pick a course that is in the area E, lifelong learning. We offer courses there. We also offer, as I mentioned, upper division courses in the university requirement, right? So as a upper division pathway student, you're going to complete 9 units. Now, depending on your major, that might mean that you're taking more than 1 course within a GE category, and that's okay, because you're going to meet your GE requirements and your honors requirements. But you do want to kind of make sure that if you don't have overlap with your major, that you are fulfilling those open spots with honors courses. You're still going to do those same 4 honors colloquiums, but it's going to be structured out a little bit differently because most of you as transfer students, the idea is that, for most of you, you are going to complete your requirements here in 2 years, and you do need a minimum of 2 years to complete the requirements in the honors program. Now, if you're planning on taking 2.5 or 3 years, you can kind of spread things out a little bit. But as a transfer student, you'll take honors 100 here in the fall. You'll take honors 200 and 300 in the spring. And then that leaves you that second year, that final year, if you're planning to graduate in 2 years, to do that senior honors project. Now, as I mentioned, if you're going to take 2.5 or 3 years, then you can kind of spread things out a little bit. But it's important to kind of keep that in the back of your mind that you do need at least the full 2 years to complete this requirement. So what that looks for you is you must take honors 100 this semester, right? That's going to allow you to stay on track. And then you're going to select 1 to 2 classes from the available options. So we have 2 options in the B5 category. One is called Evolution and Creation. The other one is called History of Life. We have a C3 course in Political Philosophy. And then we have 2 courses in the D3 category, Global Economy and Race and Ethnicity. And then finally, we have a class in Area E, which is the lifelong learning, called Comedy and Cancel Culture. And as I mentioned, we also have that option for students who either need AP American Government credit, or you just can take that class as one of the honors requirements as well. And that is Honors 301B. In the spring, depending on how many classes that you took this semester, you're going to try and finish up that honors coursework and take Honors 200 and Honors 300, right? So that's what that looks like for you as a transfer student on kind of a 2-year plan. So if you kind of think that out in terms of year 1 or year 2, that's what that's looking like. So by the end of your first year, you want to ideally have completed at least 2, if not all 3 of your honors seminar courses, and complete honors 100, 200, and 300. Year 2, you're going to make sure that if you didn't complete all of your seminar courses, that you do that. Have honors 497 and honors 400 for your senior honors project. So all of this can be a lot of information, and it's really great to get help where you can. And so there's a couple of different spaces where you can get support and assistance. The first one is right here in the Honors Center, Honors Advising. And as I mentioned, you can email univhonors@fullerton.edu if you just have general questions about the program. If you have questions specifically about advising, or you'd like to schedule an appointment with an advisor, then you can email honors.advising@fullerton.edu. I'm going to put that here in the chat just for you, so that way everybody has it if they need to copy it and paste it there. But you can also always see a GE advisor as well. Oops. And then it's also important that in addition to seeing an honors advisor, that you also meet with your major advisors. Major advisors are super helpful. Often they are faculty or connections within the department that help you stay on track with your major and help you think also about career options, internship possibilities, thinking about graduate school, all of that. So it's great to think about advising as just not one place, but a couple of different spaces that you kind of want to be present in that respect. Every college has what we call a student success center, and that's going to provide you all sorts of opportunities, everything from scholarships to student clubs, information, referrals to faculty that maybe share some of your interests. That's a great way to start thinking about maybe mentors for that senior honors project. There's also career resource people that are kind of in the student success centers that will help you think about career planning and resume and interview help, but also that academic advising for GE, major, and minor as well. So depending on your major will depend on which college you're in. And so each one of our colleges has a student success center. They are all listed here in terms of their location as well as their emails. And I should mention that a copy of these slides are available on our Canvas site for the honors community under advising and orientation. So you can certainly download that. And that makes all of these links where it says click here active, and it'll take you right to where you go for either major advising or the Student Success Center for that college. So whether you are arts, business, communications, education, engineering and computer science, health and human development, humanities and social sciences, or natural sciences and mathematics, there is a specific center for you based on your major. And then of course there's us, and we can generally help out with most of those contexts as well. And if there's ever anything that we can't, then we will find the right person for you to go to in those situations. Okay, also connected to this PowerPoint, but also available on our Canvas community are honors study plans. So for the upper division pathway and also the four-year program, this is obviously just the honors requirements and where we have honors courses in and which honors courses meet various different requirements. But like I said, we also have the major specific ones as well. So there's lots of resources on our Canvas community. So it's a great place to check things out and learn a little bit about what's available to you. So thinking a little bit about this senior honors project, I've talked a little bit about it already. And just kind of wanted to share a little bit more. As I mentioned, this is connected to your colloquiums. So in that second year, you're starting to explore ideas. You're starting to think about what are your passions? What might you like to delve into a little bit more? For those of you that are in the traditional hard sciences, the natural sciences, you might be working in a lab and you can pull something out of that for your senior honors project. If you're a creative major, right? A lot of students do performances. They take their animation portfolios and add some interesting layers to it for their senior honors project. If you have a kind of a research project or a senior capstone or something that is required for your major, you do not need to do a separate project for honors, right? You can just add additional layers to it. adding that interdisciplinary lens, maybe exploring something from a unique angle. So a great example that I like to give is a couple years ago, we had a student, he was a biochemistry major. And so he was working in a faculty member's lab and he was testing the addictive nature of different flavors of e-cigarettes, right? Where there's some flavors that were more addictive than others. So very science, very lab-based experience. He, by the way, is now in medical school and doing amazing. But for his major, that's what he did. For his senior honors project, he talked about that research, but then he layered over it, well, what are some of the implications of these findings? How do we need to maybe think about policy or education maybe differently in light of his finding that some flavors were more addictive than others? How does this impact maybe marketing? So he added some of those additional lenses to what he was doing in the lab, and that became his senior honors project. So you can take what you're doing and follow that through your senior honors project and kind of explore it maybe from a different angle. Other students might think about something totally not at all connected to their major. So we've had a couple of students over the years who maybe, for example, they are a criminal justice major, for example, and they have a family member or a loved one who is going through Alzheimer's. And so they did a project looking at what are the challenges for family members dealing with a loved one with Alzheimer's. And so it allowed them to kind of explore their kind of things that were going on in their lives from an academic standpoint and really kind of delve deeper into that. We've had other students look at mental health for college students, challenges for first-generation students, the impact of study abroad for student populations. So you can really, again, explore anything that you want, right? And so in junior year, as I mentioned, you're solidifying that topic, you're identifying that faculty member, and then in that senior year, you are writing that project and presenting it at conference. Now that's the 4-year plan. Obviously, those of you that are on the 2-year plan, you're going to do honors 200 and 300 in the spring semester, and then your senior honors project that last year. So as I mentioned, there's a couple of different ways you can go about this. You can do a traditional interdisciplinary research project, right, where you're doing a literature review and you're testing a hypothesis and you're gathering data, maybe in a lab or a survey or focus groups or interviews, right? You're analyzing that data and you're reporting out the results. That is one option. You could also do an applied portfolio experience that might be a thematic collection of projects or research, maybe around community-based research or practicum-based projects or things that are related to entrepreneurial activities or global education. And then the other option is a creative project. So things like putting together a novella, a fiction novella, a collection of poetry, an artistic composition or production or a performance. Again, I use the example of looking at, an animation portfolio and thinking about the process behind creating that, right? So that's kind of the realm of different things that you can do. As I said, there's a lot of freedom for you to really delve into your passion. So how do you stay connected? I've mentioned our Canvas community. That is a great way to stay connected. We've got our website, right, where you can either kind of just look up information. There's a lot of stuff there, as I mentioned, things related to our senior honors projects, information about the program and the requirements. You can also reach out to us via email, either through some general questions about the program to universityhonors@fullerton.edu, or if you have advising questions, that's honors.advising@fullerton.edu. We also have we have 2 different Instagram pages. One is the official CSUF Honors. In fact, I just posted a new reel that kind of gave a highlight of our Amsterdam study abroad trip this morning, so you can check that out. And then also HSAC, our Honors Student Advisory Council, they also have an Instagram and they'll be posting stuff about activities and things that they will have going on there. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording and bid everyone adieu. Thank you so much for joining us today. But otherwise, I'm super excited to see you here in the center here in the fall. Please come visit us. If you happen to be on campus this summer, pop by. We would love to see you and get to meet you. And otherwise, we're thrilled to have you be a part of our community. Thanks so much. Bye.